If you're planning on moving into Denver, it's always good to do your research and figure out the good with the bad. So today we're going to be diving into Denver, Colorado, pros and cons.
All right, let's go.
If this is your first time watching, Pete and Chelsea Sweeney and we are your Colorado real estate family. What we'd like to do this channel is expose you to everything Denver and all of its surrounding cities, giving you the expert advice for anyone who's planning on moving into this beautiful state. So if that's something that you're interested in, if you do want to follow us, why don't you go ahead and hit that subscribe button, little notification bell, and give us a thumbs up. I'm always trying to figure out which order they're in. Why don't you go ahead and hit those buttons, and we will greatly appreciate it.
As much as we love making these videos for you, we love even more helping with your real estate needs. So if you're looking for a licensed real estate agent here in the state of Colorado, Denver, any of the surrounding cities, we're going to put our phone number down below. You can call or text us anytime.
Let's go ahead and dive in this video. We're going to be throwing you 4 pros and 4 cons. We're going to start out with the pros because it's always great to start out with the good stuff first, right? And then we'll end with the cons. You're going to want to stick around until the last con because it's the one that bugs us the most in regards to living in Denver. So let's go and start out with that first pro. First pro being the restaurant scene here in Denver, Colorado.
Yeah, so because we have a lot of transplants coming into Colorado, we actually think that we've stepped up a couple notches in the restaurant world as far as like the best eats and kind of having a lot of local options. Yep. Obviously downtown, a few of our favorites are going to be like Avanti and Root Down, Happy with a
Asteria Marco, is that what it is? It's like some awesome fancy pizza place that's
where Peter used to
underground.
Yeah. And then over here, we're actually currently in Rhino. You're going to have like Butcher Block in the woods. And so there is so many awesome restaurants. We actually consider ourselves kind of foodies in Colorado.
Yeah, I mean, we've actually ran into this where we've talked to a few guys, we've talked to a few other people who are like, Denver's not a foodie spot. I'm telling you, it is an underground foodie spot. We do have a lot of foodie spots here, and I will argue, this might be a little biased because it's what I eat all the time, is Colorado has the best Mexican food.
Okay, we need to go into that just a second because I think the reason we have the best Mexican food is because we have like real green chili. We will go to other places and they will tell us other states yep. or countries.
Yeah, other countries.
They don't have green chili, or they say they have green chili, but we all know it's like verde sauce.
It's like a verde sauce.
Like that's probably more authentic, obviously, but green chili's our jam, and if you go anywhere in Colorado, you can get green chili unless it's a super authentic.
I mean, we like all the time when we go to all the properties in these other states, we always say, hey, I want a smothered burrito, and it comes out with like a cheese sauce or it's an enchilada
and
sauce.
And a verde sauce.
And we're like, what the heck? If you've never had a smothered burrito with green chili on it, you are totally missing out. And I will also say that we have Santiago's here in Denver, Colorado. Great little handheld breakfast burritos. I mean, you know, there's like little $2 things. Nothing crazy, but they're pretty addicting. Like when you're heading out for work in the morning, it's like, I'm gonna go grab myself a Santiago's burrito. Maybe 2, maybe 3. It all depends on the night. I don't know.
You used to be able to do 1.
Yep.
And then they kind of got a little skimpy on the size, but it's still worth it. So then you just buy 2, which is fine because they're pretty affordable. But yes, we eat green chili by the bowl here. Okay, we have green chili cook-offs and like all kinds of things surrounding green chili because I think it's just really unique to us.
We actually saw our son wrestles for a wrestling club when we were helping him set up a gym one night for a tournament that our club was holding. There's this argument over who had the best green chili, right? And we're like, maybe we do like a team like green chili cook-off. We'll figure out who has the best green chili. If you've never heard of green chili, or if you want to experience all the foodie spots in Denver, Colorado, go ahead and let us know. Comment down below. We'll throw you some great spots that you might like if you're visiting the city of Denver.
Yeah, and also if you're from a place that has green chili, let us know because we have yet to find green chili like Colorado anywhere else.
Yep. The second pro that we're going to be diving into is an active lifestyle in Denver, and I know that we do have those Rocky Mountains. We have the largest, outdoor playground pretty much right in our backyard. But there are some great things to do in the city of Denver if you do not want to leave and go into the mountains. For all of our kayakers out there, if you don't want to go up into the mountains, they actually over at Confluence Park, they have man-made chutes over there, so you could go kayaking over in Confluence Park without having to go into the mountains.
Yeah, the other thing too is we have 300 days of sunshine. So if you're not trying to get into something crazy, walking, running, I mean, we're on this kind of running path right now that I'm sorry if it's loud. Like there is no place to escape construction. Yeah.
Here.
So we're like, you know what? We're just gonna own it. It's Denver. That's the whole point of the city is that we're growing and we want to show you all about it. So if you are hearing me yell at you, it's not because I'm like really yelling at you. I'm just passionate.
Do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth?
If you stick around until later in this video, that 300 Days of Sunshine might actually make its way into one of the cons.
Okay, so let's go ahead and dive into the third pro of living in Denver, and that is Denver is a cultural hub. So, I mean, one of the first things is we have Red Rocks, and that's going to be like our big events or our
music
concert,
scene. Pretty much, you have concerts, you have the
movies on the rocks.
Yeah, you have, if you're
even working out there.
They have like the Easter Day service for church up there. Like Red Rocks is amazing. It's like always voted one of the top venues to watch a show in the country.
And then a lot of our events are even held up there. So if there's like big events and all of that, I mean, I have a lot of our friends will go to a ton of like the music festivals and everything that they hold. Like it is always, now that we've it's reopened back up from a couple years ago, like it is becoming more popular than ever.
Yeah, well, and they also have music festivals not just in Red Rocks, but in the Denver and surrounding areas. Like we constantly have people who are going to all these different music festivals, and we're like, how did you hear about that one or this one? And so there's always kind of like these underground music festivals, and then they have the larger music festivals as well. Denver is also full of a bunch of great museums. Let's see if I can remember all these. We got the Denver Museum of Nature and Science, which was actually my personal favorite, always going on field trips as a kid. You have the Denver Art Museum, which is an amazing spot. It's like right in the middle of downtown Denver. You have the Contemporary Art Museum, which is in Lodo.
The Children's Museum.
Yeah, you have the Children's Museum, and if you drive off I-25, they have like this big, huge like treehouse style thing that the kids could go into.
It's so cool. It looks like this little adventure house with like, I don't even know, like these round balls that you like can climb into, and then like some kind of like bridge system. Like it's really cool.
Yeah, there's a thing behind it that I don't know about, but I know that there's some significance to why they built that.
We need to take our kids are still a little young to be doing a lot of the big like high off the ground stuff, because then mom and dad have to go with them. But we're like excited to kind of experience some of those things as they get a little older. The other thing too, you mentioned the nature and science, like I loved going as a kid when you got to go in and you got to go to the health center and like learn all about your body. Like it literally, I spent the entire time there. Nobody hung out with me. I hung out, and then we do like some kind of an energetic, like I think we should talk about this.
It was like a telekinesis competition.
And how strong my energy was that I won. I don't win anything with Peter, so just letting you know, we need to get it on camera.
I'm pretty sure my thing was broken, that's why.
No, I am energetically strong. But you like had to focus really hard and then like move something.
You move it's like a puck or something like that with like brain waves, with this thing that's reading your brain waves, and I don't know, I still think the system's rigged.
It could be the fact that there's always something going on in here, so it was like, oh my god, what's going on in there? And then of course we have the Denver Performing Arts, which sadly I don't get to go to very often because it's like pulling teeth to get Peter to like a ballet or a show. I mean, heaven forbid a musical.
I fall asleep in movies all the time. What do you think I'm going to do during a ballet? I'm probably going to be the one snoring in place.
Nobody said you have to be awake. Just dress up nice.
The way I snore, I'm sure I'm going to be bugging a lot of people when we're watching the ballet. I'm just saying.
Listen, you should go, if you're here in town, and look at the Denver Performing Arts schedule. They have all kinds of just amazing. Didn't we go to an opera?
I never went to an opera.
Oh, well, maybe I went with my family.
I've never been to an opera.
I do remember it being like extremely long, but it's just incredible. Like I love talent, and so going there and just watching all of the different performances is just incredible.
Yep.
And of course, the fourth pro is going to be tech jobs, which we know that Denver is not short of.
Yep.
I'll let you at least break into some of the big hitters.
Yeah, so if you haven't watched any of our other videos, we have this designated area south of Denver called the Denver Tech Center. And so we have like a lot of large companies like Google's here, Zoom. It's not their main headquarters, but some of them are based out of here. And then you do have some that are headquartered out of here, like Air Electronics. You have Xero, which is like an accounting software. I mean, there's all kinds of different tech jobs down there. And that's actually a big reason why that area down there is growing. So we're talking like Centennial, Highlands Ranch, even parts of Aurora is growing so large because the tech center is plentiful of tech jobs.
Yeah, so another thing too, guys, if you are interested in being close to Denver Tech Center, you're moving here for a job or something with one of those companies, go ahead and go check out that video. We just did a video recently covering kind of what it's like to live like south of Denver, and that's where you're gonna really start seeing a lot of those great cities that are close by that make that commute really convenient. So we gave you 4 pros, and we wouldn't be doing our job if we didn't also tell you the bad of living in Denver. Which is what we hate covering, although we also don't like live in Denver for a reason, so it helps us a tiny bit. The first one we're going to cover is air pollution. When we talk about air pollution, Denver actually rated 7th for ozone pollution. So
That's off what, the American Lung Association.
American Lung Association. I'll be honest, I don't know a ton about ozone, but I do know that our phones get updated every single time we're in a high ozone pollution. Like it'll like ring through all of ours. And Denver is really high. Being the 7th, like that's kind of something we have to talk about.
Yeah, another thing we want to talk about too with that air pollution, it can get crazy smoky. Actually, I think, what was it, like 2020 or 2021? I remember it was during COVID because a lot of us were stuck inside, but it was bad. Like it felt like the entire summer, the skies were just filled with smoke. It's when we had those really bad wildfires. So anytime we have a really bad wildfire, it comes down to the Denver metro area, and unfortunately we have that smoke in the air. Sometimes you get a little bit of soot, a little bit of ash. Kind of a huge con in regards to living in the Denver metro area.
Yeah, the other thing too is, I know allergy doesn't have to do necessarily with pollution, but oftentimes when those wildfires are going on, you have very allergy-like symptoms. We also kind of have a lot of allergy or allergens in the air, and we follow pollen.com because of course I have allergies. Anybody who is like highly allergic to ragweed or cotton, those are things that we have here, and we have higher seasons for that. The good thing about our air quality is I do think that it gets better through the different seasons, and it's obviously the worst in the summertime.
I will tell you that like the days that Denver is super clear, you cannot beat it. It is beautiful.
It's gorgeous.
It's just like everything's super crisp. The mountains are crisp, and it's just amazing views.
Yeah, if our 5-year-old can be like, oh my gosh, mama, look at the mountains, like that clearly is like in your face about how beautiful it can be here if it already pulls the attention of our 5-year-old.
So this is a little bonus for you, but God, it is freaking cold, and I think it's a con for Denver right now.
My feet are completely numb. I might just fall on my face.
This is by far the coldest winter I think we've ever experienced. Well,
I agree.
We've experienced in a long time, and it's just, man, it's been so freaking cold.
I feel like I have to say sorry to some of our clients who moved here because we were like, oh, it doesn't last very long.
It's not that bad. Don't worry about it.
It's like 50s, the roads will just go ahead and clear right up, and da-da-da-da. And then we're like calling all of our clients like, are you doing okay? I'm so sorry. I know there's ice on the ground. I promise it'll get warm soon, but I just don't know when. Like, it's been interesting.
It has been interesting.
It's
super
just
cold.
Not warming up enough in between right now.
Nope, it's not. The second con that we're going to talk about, and this is actually kind of a fun one at the same time, super sad for all the Denverites here, is the Broncos. And they've just sucked lately. Currently, the Broncos are like the second team with like the longest span of losing seasons, which is ridiculous. Like before that, I know that Denver was always like a super winning team, and now like we're only behind the Jets in regards to like the most seasons. I think it's like 6 or 7 of losing seasons. So it sucks. It's a huge con for us right now because if you're not familiar with Denver, we are hardcore Bronco fans here, and so to see them go down the way they have year after year after year after year, it's just a huge con.
Yeah, so we used to like take shots for when we got a touchdown or when we won or this and that. Now it's like, okay, we're gonna have to find another way to celebrate, or all of us are gonna be sober and sad. And so we're like,
you end up taking shots when the other team scores because you're so sad. You're like
having to do bets and like fantasy so that we can like actually have a team to cheer for. And like, by the way, I won fantasy this year. I never win fantasy, but anyways, we had to get into fantasy football because we needed something to cheer for, and we can't just bandwagon because Peter's a 5th generation native and like that's like illegal to leave the Broncos, but it's getting really hard to keep the love when it's so freaking sad. You go into every game like, this is ours, this is our game.
This is a game we're going to light up. We got Russell Wilson, it's going to happen.
It's going to happen.
Nope.
Yep. And we're like, oh, well, at least I still drank because I was sad. So. Okay, so the third con we're going to be talking about is the fact that you have to have a car in Denver.
Yeah, and so we've actually, this is from our personal experience, talking with many people just like you when we sit down with you to over lunch or something like that. We thought that we had like a pretty good public transit system, and then we have people who've come in from like DC, Pittsburgh, like kind of areas on the East Coast, and they're like, your public transit system sucks. And I thought I'd be able to move here without having a car. Now I will say, okay, let's say you live in like the Highlands or Rhino or something like that. You wouldn't really necessarily have to have a car if you work downtown, but if you live on the more of the outlying areas, the public transit isn't really there unless you decide to live right next to a light rail station. Now, they are trying to improve it more and more as they go along, but currently it's just not really there, and you will have to have a car if you're, I'd say, within probably 10 miles of the downtown Denver area.
Yeah, I was recently reading an article too that we actually ranked 21 out of the 50 states for transportation. It takes a bunch of things into consideration, but public transit is one of them. And I was like, man, I thought we were doing so good. And really, like Peter said, in the hub of Denver, you're good, right? Like the walkability's there, and we have bus stations, and we have the
all the scooters everywhere.
So like if you're in the hub of Denver, you're gonna be like, what? Of course we have great public transit. But if you're in the outer skirts, not so much.
All right, if you stuck around this long, thank you so much. Now it's time to break into the one that I mentioned in the beginning, the one that has been bugging us the most, and actually kind of snuck up on us. We didn't know this was going to go down until it actually happened. But
should have been more involved.
Yeah, it is. So currently in Denver, you have to pay for your plastic bags, and then 2024, they're going to completely eliminate bags, and that's actually a Colorado. That's a statewide thing. I know, we're probably gonna get some daggers over this because a few of you out there are like, what? I can't believe you guys are so bugged over bags. I'm sorry, guys. I don't want to carry in a bunch of reusable bags when I have two little ones I'm trying to get at the same time. Actually, I guess it's more you than me.
Yeah, I was gonna say, let's be real. I'm the one who's going to the grocery store. Yeah. I am not like anti-earth. We are like, we all have our way of contributing, and I guess it's just that it kind of snuck up, and then it's like a really quick change really dramatically. I always like really like air high-fived or brain high-fived people who brought in all their bags and carried all the stuff, and I'm just trying to get my kids safely to the door. You know what I mean? Like, I'm just trying to get them to the door, and then on top of that, like, I buy a lot of groceries at one time, okay? Like, a lot of groceries, and I reuse my bags. Like, I do the bag thing, and then I recycle them appropriately or however I dispose. But like, yeah, it's a thing, and I didn't know it was going to be such a problem.
You don't realize it. You don't realize it because like most of the times when I'm going to the grocery store, it's like that one-off thing where I'm like, oh shoot, I gotta go to the store. I go in there, buy everything, throw it in the bags. I'm like, oh shoot, I gotta pay for all my bags. So I'm sitting there hitting the plus button, up and up and up and up. And
yeah, I went to the grocery store recently, and they were understaffed, and so the lady needed help bagging my groceries. So I like went in there, and I was like taking so much pride in how I bagged my groceries, got everything where it was supposed to go. And I got it all in there, and of course I jammed it all the way to the top to make sure I wasn't wasteful. Put it in the cart, stacked it all on top of each other by heavy to light. I mean, it was like it was very intentional. And she's like, excuse me, ma'am, how many bags did you use? I was like, oh, I haven't gone to the grocery store in a couple weeks. Like, I was like, 1, 2, 3, 4. I was like, okay, clearly, like, and I like jammed it full. Like, what if she was bagging my groceries?
Oh yeah.
Like, she probably would be like kind about it and try not to smush things. Like, anyways, the bag thing I could probably go on.
I know this is probably gonna be a 50-50 thing where half of you guys are like, what the hell? I can't believe you're pissed off about that. But sorry, guys, we're all our own individual. We want a choice, right?
We want a choice.
It's like if we want to use plastic bags, we use plastic bags. It's not like we're going throwing them around or anything like that.
We also recycle and do all other things to try to help in our own way. But anyways, we didn't know if we were going to talk about it because
it's one of those things where it's like, should we talk about it? But it's like, yeah, we're going to talk about it because obviously we think it's a con, and so.
And we need to be like ourselves and authentic.
No beating around the bush on this.
We don't care if you like reusable bags. We love that you guys want to do that, or you know, but it's kind of put a damper on our lives.
Yep.
Anyways, if you do have something to say about it, feel free to comment down below because we are not shying away from your comments. We welcome them all, your opinions and everything. Teach us if you need to. But also, we do these videos for you. So if there's something else about Denver that you think is a pro or con, please let us know. Or if there's any topic that you want us to cover, please let us know as well because we do all these videos for you.
And of course, guys, we're going to throw that phone number below one more time right there. Give us a call, give us a ring, give us a text. Doesn't matter time or day. We are here for all your real estate questions. And until next time, we love you. Bye.
Bye.
What is up? If you're planning on Colorado. If you're planning on moving, should I say Denver?
Yeah.
Okay. If this is your first time watching, do I usually say Pete and Chelsea, or do I say Colorado Real Estate Family first?
I don't know.
Good. We are your Colorado Real Estate Family. What we'd like to do on this channel, I'm like spitting over here. I had like a bubble. We'll eat, leave, or eat, live.
Eat, leave, and be merry.
Eat.
And as much as we love helping with making these,
And if you stick around,
Are you okay?